After every broadcast, Mr. Solange likes to take one of the talents and review the show. Personally, only way I get anything out of these is by being a hostile witness. That's why I answer every one of his questions with a question.
Xavier, you were stumbling over your words in the broadcast. Did you pre-read the script before it was recorded?
Would I have done the show had I known I was able to proofread?
I suppose you would have. Did you promise not to use a silly weather term when you introduced John McNally's weather segment?
What makes a promise?
Oh, a quid pro quo?
Oh, do you speak Latin?
Okay. Thank you, Xavier.
Are we done? Is it necessary? Nah, but it is effective.
Did you get something to eat this morning? Did you have like some cereal or like a breakfast bar?
What do you want to know?
I like to make sure that all of my students are getting their nutrition. Was there coffee with your breakfast this morning?
Penn. My name is Anila. Today is Thursday, but tomorrow we're off, so I guess it's technically Friday.
And I'm Malachi Warner. It's great to see you before this weekend. Let's hear what's happening around in your school.
We begin with Mrs. Stark's journalism class. Yesterday, students got to meet with the alumni who has found a lot of success across the river in the Garden States and covering the Eagles. Penn News, Stephen Moore has the story.
I'll actually go with this last game because I thought it was really unselfish. It was another Saquon play where he slid before that. And I don't know if you guys have seen the videos where Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown were really on. And I love to say it. He really did treat him like a kid. Like, get over here, get over. Why do you do that? But it was unselfish of him because he could have scored a touchdown. Could have gotten more stuff. He was that. But it helped him run the clock out. So I think to that just encapsulated what this team is about.
New Jersey Advanced Media Eagles beat writer and William Penn alumni Chris Franklin stopped by Miss Starks' journalism class on Wednesday to share some of his experiences covering not only professional sports, but also local news. It was the type of class that gave students a better understanding of the field and what they could do in it.
It was nice because he opens up about talking to a lot of well-known people, and it makes me think about wanting to do journalism because you get to meet a lot of new people and have new experiences.
He gets to interact and meet interesting people, and especially how he interviews the Eagles players and the coaches.
Giving back to the community that gave Chris so much is always a welcome gift from an alumni, especially one with such a busy schedule. It was also a wonderful opportunity for students to build on their own skills.
It opens up my confidence in asking questions and stuff.
It was definitely interesting. It was definitely awesome that he was willing to come out and take time out of his day to come out and talk to us.
While many students wanted to hear about experiences with professional athletes, Chris was also able to tell them about other parts of the job, like how to deal with critics and keep moving as a journalist.
There's been emails I've gotten in my inbox that I'm like, I didn't know you could put certain words together and you get stuff. There's been stuff that you're like, okay, yeah, so you just got to ignore it. You got to move on. That's probably, at first it's the toughest thing you say as a journalist, but that's what really happens on that.
A career in journalism is not something that limits someone to one thing. Many people don't realize how not only is there a large amount of opportunities in working, but also in the methods news is delivered.
This is probably your most important tool as a reporter, because not only do you have to reach out to somebody, text them, not only do you have to record it, and that's where one avenue I tried to do that's helped me out on this beat is to record the videos along with that stuff. You can put it in the headline. You can put Jalen Hurts runs out, returns first time, but then you put a video in there. It's like, I want to see what's that. Oh, you want to do a podcast? I can do a podcast. I can do a podcast from the start of that. Just to the point where I'm thinking about doing a video podcast now to try to get another way to do that. So there's many different ways for you guys to do it. And you don't have to think wow, I didn't go to MTV, so I can't do it. Well, MTV doesn't really do news anymore, but I just have to say, well, I can't, I'm not on ABC, and not NBC, not CBS, not Fox, what have you. There's always an avenue where you can get your voice out, and all it takes is one person to see it. And then from there on out, that's kind of what happened to me. So, yeah.
Reporting for Penn News, Stephen Moore.
Thanks, Stephen. Meanwhile, the Communities in Schools and Restorative Practice Program helped sponsor a Put Your Best Dress Forward event on. Students were asked to come to school wearing their best attire with suits and ties to designer sneakers. Prizes were awarded to the best dressed gentleman of the day. The organizers are hopeful that the event will help show students that in order to succeed in the business world, you can't always show up in your comfiest sweatpants.
They can see themselves in the best light, as well as some of their peers, as well as some of the teachers and staff. You know, oftentimes we don't see each other, you know, in our best. Some call it the Sunday's best, but we want to put our best self forward.
Meanwhile, in national news, last night, President Joe Biden delivered his farewell address live to the nation. It started by announcing a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The president also talked about his record, his love of the American democracy, and reminded how special it was. He thanked his family, vice president, and cabinet for all their support. His successor, President Donald Trump, will be sworn into his second term on Monday at the Capitol.
In California, wildfires continue to burn down, destroying people's homes, properties, and businesses. So far, the fires have swept through 40,000 acres in Los Angeles area and has destroyed more than 12,000 buildings. Helicopters and planes continue to fly over the area, dropping water and not even getting water from local pools. The cause of the fire still has yet to be determined.
Finally, a national ban on the popular social media site Tik Tok will be decided this weekend. A new law signed in April bans any new downloads from Apple or Google stores. The parent company ByteDance is seeking a 270-day delay on the ruling. The popular app has 170 million subscribers in the United States. We hit the halls to find out what some of you think banning TikTok would mean.
I feel like they shouldn't ban it because it's like people run their businesses on there, and it's like it's a big thing, and they shouldn't ban it because like where people gonna go? Not red note.
They can't ban TikTok, bro. I'm gonna keep it being like TikTok is life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. TikTok is life, bro.
I think it's a good idea because they use it for the wrong reason. If it was being used for educational purposes, as which it was designed to do, and they're, you know, in the country that designed it, then it would be great. But it's not being used for that. It's being used for other things.
I be on TikTok, and me, like, I be doing TikTok, doing the little quotes, and me, I'm like, what y'all got banned it for? Like, I don't think that's what they should do, but that's what they feeling then.
I have heard that a lot of folks are moving to another app called RedNote that is also owned by a Chinese company. So I think it's a little bit funny that it ended up being where people moved to another Chinese-made app.
I think TikTok is full of, like, a bad content because the brain rot and everything. So I think, like, it'll be good for our youth in a way, but at the same time, it was really entertaining. So I'm kind of sad about it.
I'm about to crash out, bro. I'm about to crash out, Sean. That's my everyday life, Sean. I wake up, TikTok. Sleep, TikTok. Don't even brush my teeth, straight TikTok. I'm crash out. So TikTok go, you go.
We're seeing some of the coldest temperatures of the year right now. Will there be any relief in sight, or is there more snow coming our way? Sophia Arnold is out front with the forecast.
Hi, I'm Sophia Arnold. Welcome to Penn Weather. Today, we have a low of 19 degrees with a high of 32 degrees. Friday, tomorrow, we have a low of 24 degrees with a high of 40 degrees. Saturday, there's going to be a low of 28 degrees and a high of 42 degrees. Sunday, we have a 55% chance of snow with a low of 23 and a high of 35. Thank you, and back to the desk.
Thanks, Sophia. Switching to sports. The boys basketball team played their first game since the winter break on Saturday against Sally's. Our own Carter Lakowski was there to capture the highlights.
The Colonials welcomes Louisiana to East Basin Road for a Saturday afternoon matinee. In the first, Colonials trailing. Kendall Birdie Riley kicks it to Andy Webb in the corner, and he sinks the three to give to the Colonials the 10-9 lead. In the second quarter, Andy Webb would not be stopped in the paint, getting a big block and throwing it off as a Louisiana player for the turnover. Minutes later, Brian Ramirez will lob the ball to Andy Webb for the wide-open alley-oop. Colonials would trail at half 21-27. In the second half, the team battled hard. Birdie takes the ball and finds a hole in the paint
for a strong layup. Colonials trail 27-32. Minutes later, Colonials still in the thick of it as Zaire Gibson hits a wide open three from the top of the key. Colonials trail 33-38. Colonials closing the gap as Gibson hits another three, this time from the wing. Colonials would go into the fourth tied at 40. All the hard work would pay off in the fourth. On the turnover, Elijah Coates brings the ball into the paint and floats one in for two. Andy Webb misses the layup but doesn't give up, getting the ball to Birdie, and he lays it in to seal the 59-51 victory over Salesianum. Reporting for Penn News, Carter Lukowski.
Thanks, Carter. The team will play at home again this Saturday against Sanford. Tickets are available online and all sales end at 12 on Saturday.
Don't forget the girls will play before the boys against Woodbridge at 11. Come out and support the Lady Colonials and make it a full day of basketball.
Swimming will be home against Glasgow today at 3:30. They also have a meet on Saturday against Mount Sophia Academy.
Wrestling will have a busy few days on the road as this Saturday they will head south to take on Cape Henlopen. Next week, the team will be on the road against Newark on Monday and Christiana on Wednesday.
Finally, the unified team will play their first home game against Apo Friday in the gym at 3:30. That'll do it for us this time. Time for some shout-outs. I'd like to shout out boys basketball team.
I'd like to shout out the cheerleading team.
All right. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, go Penn, win.
Go Penn.